Good evening, faculty, parents, friends, and members of the graduating class. Today is an occasion that we've looked forward to since our first time stepping into the high school, or maybe even before that. Above all, it is a memorable day for everyone here because it marks an important milestone in our lives. None of us are here by mistake, and this shows the accumulation of our hard work, dedication, and perseverance day in and day out. As I stand before you as the salutatorian of the graduating class of 2024, I am grateful to have achieved this honor. While I had to spend countless hours completing homework, going above and beyond on projects, and occasionally cramming for a test the period before, I cannot reach where I am today without the people who supported me over these 4 years. I would like to start by thanking my teachers, family, and friends, because the lessons they taught me during my time at Hoosac Valley will guide me in the years to come. I would also like to give a special thanks to Mr. Mahar because I have had the opportunity to learn something truly unique here at Hoosac Valley, timber framing. Something that isn't taught at any other high school throughout the rest of the country, and I was able to take part in completing a 12-foot by 16-foot building that was made completely by the students. This past week has been special for the seniors because as we opened our time capsules, we got the chance to take a look back at our 9th grade year. Opening up the capsules, we found letters to our future selves, varsity letters from the sports we played, and pictures of some of the memories we shared with friends. However, we also saw masks and letters regarding what normal life used to look like. Not only was entering high school something new and unfamiliar, but we also had to manage online Zoom classes, changing schedules, and hanging out with friends and family from a distance. This experience marked the start of our high school journey and clearly had an impact on us. It forced me to look more closely at the opportunities that surround us and how lucky we are to live in Berkshire County. Between the lakes where we swam and fished and the mountains that we hiked, biked, and skied, there are endless possibilities to enjoy the outdoors in the area that we live in. Looking back on this experience, though, I feel there are some situations that we can now laugh at. Who would have ever thought that school would be canceled for 3 months? Or that we would sit in our rooms with all of our personal belongings ready to distract us and take our attention away from the teacher. Yet we all worked through it and made the best of our situation. If I had to pick one characteristic that I feel describes the graduating class of 2024, it is that we are hardworking. The class of 2024 is extremely hardworking and involved throughout all aspects of the school. A large portion of our class was involved in clubs and organizations such as the Athletic Leadership Council, Student Council, and Leo Club. Numerous students also took part in the arts at Hoosac by participating in the musical, playing in the band, and partaking in art competitions. Additionally, our class also had state championship wins, Western Mass championships, and contributed to a very successful athletic program over the past 4 years. I would also like to share a brief story that highlights the hardworking nature of our class. For the last couple weeks, the entire physics class got to participate in an engineering design competition. With not a lot of time left in school, we quickly got to work making paper towers, coffee stir bridges, and egg drop containers. However, the real challenge came when we had to make a cardboard boat to race across Cheshire Lake. With only 2 days until the event, we gathered old refrigerator boxes and duct tape and constructed boats, or at least attempted to construct them. Each team diligently ensured the seams were sealed and the bottom was painted. Even though it was the last day of classes, we all worked really hard and felt ready for the challenge of Cheshire Lake. Seeing as the first 2 boats tested successfully made it across the course, we were feeling confident in our design. However, we weren't there just to participate. We wanted to win this. And with 2 people in the boat and our homemade paddle, we pushed off the dock. Though we quickly realized we were in trouble when the back seat broke and my friend Jack started to disappear with the boat into the water. In the end, we made it over half the distance in record time, but even though we sank, the hard work and determination of all the teams made for a memorable experience. With all of these memories, we now move forward. Graduating from high school shouldn't be looked at as a celebration of completion, but it should be viewed as the start of something new. As we close this chapter of our lives and start exploring the next phase, as graduates, this moment marks a fresh start. When we go into college, the workforce, or whatever our future plans hold, we will be in a completely new environment. But that is the exciting part, because no one will know who you are or who you were leading up to now. And you can make new friends, grow stronger relationships, and grow out of old habits. Just because you are someone today doesn't mean you have to stay that person the rest of your life. The world has endless possibilities, so I hope that everyone of the graduates here today goes on to try something new. And if you don't know exactly what you want to do today, try something, because you can always change your mind. Once again, I would like to thank all the people who have supported me throughout my time at Hoosac, and for each of my classmates here tonight. Let today mark the beginning of something very special in our lives, and don't shy away from the endless possibilities that we have before us. Thank you.
Good evening, teachers, staff, friends, family, and my fellow classmates. Thank you all so much for coming tonight to celebrate the end of a tremendous chapter of our lives and the beginning of a new one. Even though we may not show it all the time, your support means the world to us. Without it, we wouldn't be here today. Finally, the day has come that we knew was going to, but always felt so far away. Standing here tonight feels surreal. The first thing I would like to say is congratulations to my fellow classmates. I already know that this class is leaving a monumental mark on the school. I'm honored to be standing in front of you all tonight as our class speaker. I have created the most meaningful friendships over the years and had some of the greatest memories of my life so far with these people. Because our class is quite small, over time we've become so tight-knit that there is no other word to describe us other than a family. And families support and take care of each other no matter what. Like that day when David was choking at lunch. When David's neighboring lunch table spotted him struggling to put down his turkey sandwich, everyone made sure not to panic. Well, that is, if standing up and screaming wasn't panicking. As Talia ran to get help, David eventually choked down the bite of sandwich. In a moment of dismay, my classmates were ready in the blink of an eye to help David, even though he ended up not needing it. That being said, families don't always get along with each other. As I know from personal experiences of my own, fights happen often, but forgiveness is given nonetheless. Like when Ian ruined Mr. Mahar's mice lab. Mr. Mahar's capture and release mice lab that included a huge formal lab report to be written after completion. That sure did cause quite a bit of commotion. You may be asking, how did Ian ruin the lab? Well, there was definitely a bit of encouragement from his lab group. Capturing mice for the lab was no easy task, which is why the class had set up Cheez-Its as mice bait. After leaving the traps out overnight, Ian's lab group discovered that they had caught nothing. So Ian thought, what better thing to do but eat the dirty Cheez-It that had been left out overnight? Well, Mr. Mahar was not a fan of that, and neither were Ian's classmates, because the whole lab got canceled after that. It's okay though, because Ian has long been forgiven, and even Mr. Mahar looks back now and laughs at the whole incident. Another thing about family is that they support each other and are proud of each other for their achievements. This class has always been there for each other through the ups and downs of high school. When there were achievements to be had, there were my classmates cheering one another on, whether it was on the court, at the field, or in the audience. This class, a mosaic of different talents and dreams, has had immense success in and out of the classroom. On the athletic side of things, both basketball teams won the Western Mass Championship, the girls team became state champions, the boys lacrosse team won the Western Mass Championship, the girls lacrosse team was runner-up, and track and field records were broken and individual state champions were made. This class will surely be leaving their mark on the school through sports. In addition to that, the success beyond sports has also been huge. Multiple students in this class have had their beautiful artwork displayed at Mass MoCA, and the Hoosac musical was a huge hit this year. And one more thing, this class will be home to the first ever female Hoosac Valley graduate to attend Harvard University. Without pushing one another to succeed, none of these things would be possible. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of us. As I look at you all today, I'm overcome with pride seeing how far we have all grown through the years. From prepubescent middle schoolers, we grew into adults, ready to take on the world. Kind of like how Madeline took on that dance floor at our prom this year. But in all seriousness, I know that each and every one of us will find success in our own ways as we embark on our journeys. As we leave Hoosac Valley High School behind, let us not forget the bonds we shared and the memories we created together. The last thing I want to leave you all with is, no matter what trials and tribulations life throws at you, know that you can persevere. Don't let the unexpected obstacles in life knock you down. Let them make you stronger and wiser. Congratulations, class of 2024.
Talia Hampton Rehill. David Ryan Schultz. Madeline May Lamore. Dorothy Jane Stevens. Elizabeth Brasser. Autumn Rose Carnevale. Ace Ryoko Langnicum. Haley Jane McNeese. Hannah Constance Shea. Sky Lynn Reese. Austin Joseph Sadler. Logan Michael Chimpa. Jasmine Elizabeth Gregory. Mallory Grace Mazzio. Olivia Rose Schultz. Charles Tatro. Jack Dominic Martin. Nicholas Alexander Pompey. Ian Joseph Godfrey. Craig Field II. Guy Allen Sawyer Perrin. Andrew Michael Dupe. Adrian Javante Betts. Austin Michael Alfonso. Nicholas Joseph Chorba.
At this time, we would like to observe a moment of silence in memory of Noah William Brown, who was an original member of class 2024. Thank you. For centuries, the question of nature versus nurture has fueled debates. This expression challenges us to judge how the characteristics of a person are formed, whether a human is born with traits that have been coded in their DNA, or a human acquires their personality through living experiences and loving people. I don't have the answers, but I do have the stories. I was not a child prodigy by any means. I was merely a younger sibling to my sister, Alina. My task in my earliest years was to serve as her sidekick, Polly Pocket partner, or makeup model. Each day, my sister would wake up with a new whim about what we would do that day, and I had no choice but to follow through with these adventures. Everything changed after my sister enrolled in kindergarten. My leader suddenly disappeared for 7 hours a day, and I found myself lost in her absence. Suddenly, starting at 2 p.m. on Monday through Friday, my sister would rush home with a brand new game to play. She called this game School. And in this game, she would sit my 3-year-old self down and teach me everything she learned. Please do not be fooled, people. I was only 3 years old. My eyes did not light up at the sight of my sister pulling out her books and folders. In fact, there were several days I dreaded school because my strict 5-year-old teacher never let me loose. Lucky for her, she had an advantage to play school with me for hours on end because I was immobile. Any chance I tried to from her, you all can believe she would capture me and sit me back down for another lesson. Say what you will about how ethical this form of education was, but I entered kindergarten knowing how to read. Kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Emerson, about my reading ability. She would most likely describe it as a threat to classroom privacy. Over time, I challenged myself to learn how to read upside down so I could eavesdrop on Mrs. Emerson's letters regarding bad behavior that she wrote home to parents, a few of which were unfortunately read about me. I had the privilege of attending Cheshire Elementary School before its heartbreaking closure in 2017. In my 7 years there, I was surrounded by an abundance of love, empathy, and sincerity from the staff. For those of you who have seen the movie Matilda, every corner of that building had at least one teacher who was as pure as Miss Honey. They were nothing short of storybook educators. and I was blessed to have them set the foundation for my leadership. For every elementary school teacher in this room, regardless of where you teach or have taught, please know that these graduates cannot emulate words or feelings that properly capture our gratitude for you. I would particularly like to recognize Heather Emerson, Danielle Taylor, Lori Canarella, and Kim Schmarkey for the imprint they left on my young heart. They proved that all it takes is 4 empowered young women to foster an empowered mind. During my freshman year, I envisioned what my life would look like at this biting moment. Within our spirits, we all have a flame that burns for that one thing that defines who we are. In my case, that thing was learning. That thing was also cute boys. But of course, I learned how to keep my priorities in check. My fire burned for recognition. When I pictured the final fleeting moments of my life, I wanted my success to show in the legacy I left behind. I wanted to die knowing that I would be remembered for decades to come for all the right reasons. I wanted to contribute something so large to the world that my name could never be erased from history because it lived on through books, speeches, and memories of those who related to me. I became acutely aware that if I wanted more for myself, I had to build more for myself. There was one obstacle. I didn't have a talent that set me apart from the crowd. I had a beaming, crooked smile and a hell of a lot of charisma, but I didn't know who I wanted to be in my life. All I knew is who I wanted to be at the end of it. At that moment, I took pen to paper to set my dream into motion. In the year 2020, I wrote on a piece of paper, I will graduate high school as my class valedictorian by June of 2024. To complete this honorable achievement, I will involve myself in as many programs, clubs, organizations, and extracurriculars that I can obtain while continuing with my AP courses. I will encourage my fellow classmates to succeed. I will get into Harvard. All these years later, handwritten goal remains hanging on my bedroom wall. I remember first holding that paper up to my wall and securing it with Scotch tape. I remember knowing that my dream was far-fetched to any rational person, but it never was to me. I remember knowing that I would achieve anything I said I could, down to the very last word, because there was simply no other option. Passed down from my grandfather to my mother and then to myself, I possess the ambition to chase my dream to the end of it. This is a work ethic that has been instilled in my family for generations on end, thanks to the unparalleled character of one solitary man. My grandfather was more than just an accomplished and highly educated businessman. He was the best single father to my mother and her siblings. Although he brought them up under the finest Midwestern manners, he showed them the value of having a wild side through laughter, signature dances, and new adventures. He is now my grandfather, and my mother jokes that he's no longer the same disciplinary figure who raised her. In my eyes, my grandpa is the most wonderful man to ever grace this earth. He has the bones of a steadfast leader, the ears of a compassionate listener, and the heart of a selfless giver. In this lifetime, I'll never be able to repay him for all the lessons he has taught me, but I hope these brief words will serve as a sentiment of my love. I also owe my grandfather the world because he created my mom. It's a gift to have been raised by someone who knows my inner workings to a T. My mom could sense when I was stressed, ready to erupt in tears, or distraught over a teenage boy in a moment's notice. From the very beginning, she was there, not just as a parent, but as a mentor, a pillar of strength, and a beacon of unwavering support. Her love, unconditional and fierce, has been the guiding light that has illuminated my path, even in the darkest of times. Through her sacrifices and selfless actions, she has taught me the true meaning of resilience, perseverance, and empathy. It is her words of encouragement that echo in my mind when self-doubt creeps in. Her belief in me that fuels my ambition, and her wisdom that guides my decisions. In every milestone I have reached, every obstacle I have overcome, and every triumph I have celebrated, her presence has been felt and her influence has been undeniable. She's not just my mother, she's my role model, my hero, and my greatest source of inspiration. As I step into the future, I do so with the knowledge that my mom and Gramps' love will always be the guiding force that propels me forward, and that their strength will be the foundation on which I build my dreams. As we all stand on the threshold of a new chapter in our lives, we carry with us the invaluable lessons that our families have imparted, of kindness, compassion, and determination.
Our success is not ours alone. It's a testament to their unwavering support, their boundless love, and their enduring belief in us. One of my greatest accomplishments as a Hoosac Valley Scholar was learning to manage my time. People ask me how I juggled being in 9 clubs, 2 sports, and 7 classes each year, and my answer just stopped. There were countless nights where I skipped sleep to pursue a project, study a text, craft an essay, talk to a boy, all things scholarly. In my household, I was famous for burning the midnight oil because, quite frankly, managing my time was not my strong suit. At the end of the day, I'm not a Harvard robot. My mind chased that goal I taped to the wall, but my heart was hungry for days with my girls and nights with my guys. So, I succumbed to every offer to go out to Applebee's, hang out by the gas bonfire, and dive into a noted lake. When homework felt like a weight too heavy on my shoulders, I would just call Haley McNeese and Abby Schlab so we could hit the road with the music blaring and all the windows down. When life felt too still in the dead of winter time, I would rally with Emma Meslar, Logan O'Connell, and Mara Cassidy to cannonball into a below-freezing creek. It was just in my nature. For all the students who are here in the stands today, with the dream and the drive, topped with the need for fun, my advice to you is to give in. Having a wild side is a wonderful thing that will teach you more about life than you could ever pull from a book. Your high school years are meant to be enriched by your passions and your clubs, but the real development is what happens when you're vulnerable. While it is definitely not okay to lie to your parents, telling them a little fib, or in my case, not telling them anything at all, will lead you into the most exhilarating moments of your life. Introduce yourself to that group of kids. Raise your hand even when you're not confident. Tell that one person how you really feel about them. These are the memories I will take away from my time here. I have no doubt that my flame would have burned out if I didn't have my friends. I was only 2 years old when I met Taylor Garabedian. She was the shy as my outgoing, and we quickly learned that our personalities balanced. It has been the greatest honor to watch that personality of hers, that me and her family have loved for all this time, creep out during her time as a Hoosac Valley student. For 15 years, we have remained best of friends, and I know we have forever to go by each other's sides. My duo expanded when Taylor and I met Haley McNeese in the 3rd grade. She made me laugh until my lungs gave out, and that's how I knew she was a keeper. My favorite memory of her was the day she earned her driver's license. Per the Massachusetts state law, Haley was not permitted to drive anyone besides blood relatives, but her first stop on that day was my driveway. She picked me up and we flew down the beautiful back roads of this county, blasting Fleetwood Mac. Never once did Haley and I fear the cops. This definitely led us into some trouble, for sure. If I'm being completely transparent with you, my friends and I have encountered the police 3 times in our high school careers. Not for the terrible scenarios you're imagining right now, but rather for being juvenile and not fast enough. If I remember correctly, there was a time when the fabulous 5 friends, Taylor, Haley, Abby, Hannah, and myself, decided to take a trip to Gabe Bishop's house with Silly String. The army of boys came out of the house equipped with bottles of cologne, and they ran at us. They chased us to the top of the hill at Forest Park Country Club, screaming the whole way through, and only stopped when they saw police lights flashing in the near distance. The smart ones ran back to Gabe's house, but Haley and I would not retreat from our mission. We remained camped out at the top of the hill until it dawned on us that the cop was coming for us. I looked at her and exclaimed, "What do we do?" She looked back at me and insisted, "We have to roll down the hill." I watched her flip onto her side and launch her body down the steep hill of Pole 4, thinking she was evading the cop. I joined after her just moments later when a beam of light cascaded onto our slowly rolling bodies. The cop went over the loudspeaker to demand that we go home before taking us in for trespassing. Those fleeting seconds of spiraling down that hill encapsulate my friends and our beautiful friendship. My life was enriched when Abby Schlaba and I grew close. If you all have ever looked at Abby, you will notice that her eyes are open wide, and she has a smile from cheek to cheek. I just don't understand how someone can look at that face and not love her instantly. Our best moments together always occurred when we were both single because she was just the type of girl who always said yes. Yes, Abby will come with you to pick up your prescription at the pharmacy. Yes, Abby will accompany you to the mall, but only if you're her personal stylist the entire time. Yes, Abby will race to your house after a breakup with open arms, because that's just who she is. She's a good friend and a good person to her core. Folks, that barely covers my inner circle. And a class size of 40, I've been fortunate to not only interact with, but truly get to know each and every one of my peers. Each person has brought a unique light to our journey together. Jordan O'Loughlin's infectious humor never fails to brighten even the most challenging of days, reminding us not to take ourselves too seriously. Dot Stevens' artistry has left us in awe time and time again, as her creativity and talent know no bounds. Dana Bradford's genuine kindness and compassion have touched us all, reminding us of the importance of empathy and understanding in our interactions with each other. And Jason Isbell's golden heart has reminded us that chivalry is not dead, nor could it ever be in his lifetime. In this close-knit community of 40, each individual shines brightly, contributing in their own special way to the tapestry of experiences we've shared together. Although this is the last stop for us seniors at Hoosac High School, we know we're leaving it in wonderful hands with our underclassmen. I have been lucky enough to be the mentor to some incredible 8th graders this year. Addie Colvin and Aviana Sanders keep me young with their kind hearts, and I've loved being a part of their lives. Girls, your stories are just beginning, so always remember that I'm only one call away and to never do anything that I wouldn't do. Next, I would like to shout out the quote-unquote JIT squad of Hoosac Valley High School. For those of you who are not familiar with the Hoosac Valley lingo, a JIT is someone who is inexperienced in something. It stands for juvenile and trained. The title of being a JIT was first given out as an insult, but let me tell you, you all have been some of the most fun-loving individuals to ever walk these hallways. Let's be honest, we all have a little bit of JIT in us, and these boys have proved that we should embrace it. My next token of appreciation is for the sophomore class. I think the seniors have proved their love to the sophomore class this final year of high school. If it wasn't for you all, our pep rallies would not have any pep. You have brought me hope that the hurricane spirit will live on after we leave, so please carry on with that legacy. My favorite member of the sophomore class is undoubtedly my younger brother, Noah. He has recently turned 16, and he is my pride and joy. Together, we have mastered the art of sibling banter, the secret language of inside jokes, and the fine art of driving our older sister crazy with our tag team initiative. Through the lens of our shared adventures, I have learned that laughter is truly the best medicine, especially when it's accompanied by the sound of his infectious laugh. He's not just my brother, he's my partner in crime, and a constant reminder that growing up along with someone who pushes all your buttons can be the best kind of adventure. On this day of reflection and gratitude, I would be remiss to not shine the spotlight on the unsung heroes of our success, the dedicated educators and staff of Hoosac Valley High School. To my soccer and track and field coaches, the selfless people who have sacrificed their time to ignite athletic passion within kids like me, your roles in my life have been monumental, as not only my mentors, but also as my friends. Thank you for propelling my leadership and keeping me in good shape. To Mrs. Somerville, the teacher who has guided me through the web of womanhood with a steady hand. Your belief in my potential, even in the face of adversity, has been a compass pointing me towards empowerment over these past 2 years. Here's to the adventures that await us in Cambridge, where your wisdom will continue to shape my path with courage and creativity. Mrs. Casella, the master creator of our musicals, whose motherly presence in the classroom has fostered my learning. Your unwavering dedication to bringing out the best in me, whether I was in tune or off key, has set the stage for a symphony of self-discovery that will resonate in my heart forever. To Mr. Snoozek, the master of mischief, who effortlessly keeps a smile on my face even during my gratuitous hours. Your lighthearted approach to teaching not only brightened my days, but also reminded me of the joy that exists beyond the ups and downs of the classroom. Thank you for being a ray of sunshine in the stormiest of times. Mr. Mahar, the embodiment of warmth, whose genuine care for his students transcends the classroom walls. Your role as a father to your incredible daughter Deanna and son Chaz is admirable. Your ability to listen, empathize, and validate my stories has made me feel truly heard and understood. Here's the bond of friendship that bridges the gap between teacher and student, father and friend. To Mr. Raymer, the prophet of possibilities, who saw in me a spark of greatness even as a freshman. Your unwavering faith in my abilities has reminded me that with hard work and determination, any dream is within reach. Mrs. Reeves, the pillar of wisdom, who has stood by me in my moments of triumph and turmoil with sage guidance. Thank you for seeing me not just as a student, but as a person with dreams, fears, and a resilient spirit waiting to emerge from beneath the surface. I am very proud that in my 3 years of having you as my math teacher, I have been able to crack your badass outer shell. It has been an honor to learn about you, your love for Harley Davidson, and your commitment to your wonderful parents. Last but certainly not least, to Mrs. Bird. When I became your intern in the fall of my senior year, I never imagined that we would become so close. You have taught me the most formidable lesson of them all, to stay true to myself and my values. You forced me to swallow the pill that whatever people have to say about me is none of my business. Although it was a difficult message for a teenager to digest, it simplified my life and aligned my priorities. Despite having one of the hardest jobs, Mrs. Bird leads with unwavering morals, inspiring us to do the same. Her willingness to open up her family to me and her continuous investment in my growth and well-being, as if I were one of her own, have touched my heart in many ways that I can never fully express. Mrs. Bird, thank you for being a beacon of strength, integrity, and kindness in our school community. You have left an indelible mark on my life, and for that, I'm forever grateful. To the educators and staff of Hoosac Valley High School, you are the champions of our growth. The resilient, compassionate, and capable young adults you see in front of you today will build on the foundation you have set. Our legacy of learning and amelioration will endure long after we've left this house walls. At this moment, I've come full circle. As we embark on the next chapter of our lives, let us remember that hard work will always triumph over mere talent. Coming from a small town like ours, where opportunities may seem limited and the odds may sometimes feel stacked against us, we have learned the true value of perseverance and resilience. While attending a private school may provide certain academic advantages, being a part of the Hoosac Valley community has instilled in us a spirit of determination and grit that propels us to work twice as hard to achieve our dreams. With abundant pride, I can look at that messily written note on my wall, knowing that I fulfilled the promise I once made to myself. And beyond this, I did it my way. With a closet full of miniskirts and a lipstick in my pocket, I am the first female Hoosac Valley student to attend Harvard University. This is the nature of the hurricanes, where passion, dedication, and a relentless pursuit of excellence define who we are. Let us carry this mindset with us as we forge ahead, knowing that with an unstoppable resolve and a steadfast commitment to our goals, we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. Congratulations, Class of 2024. The world awaits the extraordinary impact we will make.
Favorite part of the evening, as chairman of the school committee, it's one of the fun things I get to do. So sit back and enjoy. This is a warning to the parents and families out there. This is your last opportunity to take a photo of your child as a high school student. By the power vested in me by the Hoosac Valley Regional School Committee, I now pronounce you graduate